Hey guys, welcome to another video. That Geeky guy here, and today I'll be talking about how you, as a new player, want to get into Flesh and Blood TCG. Here are some tips that I can give it to you guys. So I'll try to break down the section down in the description. Else, it's just gonna be a whole continuous video, so you guys can just watch, or you can just click into the appropriate topic that you want to explore. So first things first, we're going to talk about the type of class that you want to play. So there's a reason why they are the welcome decks. So if you see, the Rathe actually has the welcome deck, which I really suggest a beginner pick up one of those and then get started with a class. So you have a choice between the warrior, the brute, the guardian, and also ninja. So once you pick up a hero, try it out, try all 4 heroes if possible, and then see which class actually fits you. So this is super important that you choose a class that you are really comfortable with. As a new player, I will suggest you to start with the heroes from Welcome to Rathe instead of Arcane Rising. So the reason being is Welcome to Rathe has the hero that helps you to understand the base mechanic of the game. Now, for Arcane Rising, what happens is the hero actually adds another layer of complexity. It's not saying that you have to start with the hero from WTR, but it's good if you can start with those instead of Arcane Rising, because Arcane Rising, those heroes, has another layer of complexity. For example, take Ranger, for example. You have to play a lot with your arsenal. For example, Wizard, you have to play a lot with knowing when to activate your instant or Kano's ability. WTR heroes, on the other hand, has the base mechanic on what makes the Flesh and Blood TCG so good. It has the basic mechanic. So by exploring these heroes, you also get to grasp the basics of the game. So if you want to start out, I suggest pick one of the 4 original heroes and start out from there. So even if you can't find those welcome decks, I know it can be a bit difficult because of the stock constraint. You can always check out websites. We actually sell this type of starter decks. So the card itself, the deck itself is not from Legend Story Studios, but the deck list is almost same. I'm gonna put in some link. I think that is helpful for you guys to actually check it out, especially if you are newer players. You can check the links, you can get the decks from there. Also, I would suggest that as a newer player, you might want to try the Blitz format. So the Blitz is basically a shorter version of the Classic Constructed, which is the main format everyone plays. Blitz is easily accessible because of the shorter gameplay time actually. So you start with just 20 health instead of the usual 40. So you might want to check that out so you can squeeze more gameplay. It also forces you to think different, as instead of the usual playset of 3, you can only put 2 cards. So one playset is actually 2 cards. So you can only have 2 cards of the same color and name within your deck. And then the reason I say that Blitz is suitable for beginners is because you get to squeeze more gameplay into a shorter amount of time, so you can learn more from there. Now, once you have selected a hero that you like, let's say you have selected Ninja as your favorite hero and you are comfortable playing Ninja, you played a few games with it and then you feel like this is the hero that you want to go. What you have to do now is basically invest into the hero. So what I mean by invest is getting their required equipment. So in Flesh and Blood TCG, the expensive cards and cards that require a bit more budget is the equipment cards, which are the legendaries. So for example, the Ninja, the essential would be the Mask of Momentum. So once you have decided that you want to play Ninja, you might want to consider investing into a Mask of Momentum. So that's just an example. Warriors and Brutes and also Guardians have their own essential item. For example, Guardian has the chest plate called that creates the token. I forgot what it's called, but each hero has that kind of equipment that makes the hero, it brings the hero to the next level. So once you're comfortable with the hero, try investing into getting an equipment for that hero. Now, what you can do after you can do next is basically refining your deck list. So once you got the equipment, try refining your deck list up to a point where you feel you're drawing into the cards that you want. So this is super important. While you are playing the game, do notice that what kind of cards that you draw that you are happy to see with. So let's say you draw a card and then you feel like, yes, this is exactly the card that I need now. Or sometimes you draw into cards that you don't want, so you might want to consider removing it. So that is for the deck building. At least keep playing, keep doing the trial and error process until you eliminated all the cards that you don't need and only have the card that you need. Next section, at least not topic. Next section, at least I would like to touch a bit upon the sideboarding. So sideboarding is a I would say skill. It's a gameplay aspect where you get to remove some of the cards from the deck. So depending who you are against, there are certain cards that you want to remove. So this is something you'll slowly realize as you keep playing the game. So as you play, then you found out that I wouldn't need this card against that kind of hero. So you're going to sideboard that. So remember, in a basic classic constructor gameplay, you need 80 cards. But minimum you can play with 60 cards. So you can sideboard up to about equipments involves. You can sideboard up to 15 cards. You can just remove depending on who you are against. Now, talking about sideboarding, one last advice I could give is check out the cards of the enemy heroes. What I mean is, don't just focus on your own cards. It is important to know what are the classes' plays, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, so you can exploit those. So you have to know your enemy. So by knowing your enemy, you can exploit their weaknesses. For example, what warrior need? Warrior is a class that is very resource heavy. Guardian is the same. So you wanna exploit their weaknesses. So let's say you are a ninja player and you wanna go against a warrior. They have a bunch of attack reaction. They have a bunch of buffs they like to use on their sword. So that's something you want to look into. So it is important to know what other classes are playing. Not when I say important to know what they are playing, I wouldn't say go into depth what kind of cards they are playing. Just know enough. Just know enough that you know how they are going to play the game. So of course there are different deck archetypes such as control, aggro. So there's a whole different other topics. So remember, just to summarize, choose a class you like, preferably from WTR, Welcome to Rathe, because those are the base heroes. They teach you the gameplay and they have the base gameplay down. Once you have that down, invest in a good equipment. If Ninja, get the mask. Warrior, have another equipment. You might want to check out those deck lists that you can find from fabtb.net. So that's another good deck building website for Flesh and Blood. And then once you have invested in equipment, keep playing. Find out which card that you think works in your deck, which card doesn't work, take it out. Learn how to sideboard against different enemy heroes and things like that. And the fifth one would be learn to exploit your enemy heroes. So that's another thing. Learn to know what they play and learn to exploit their weaknesses. So guys, those are the 5 things that you should know if you're getting into Flesh and Blood TCG. I know this might be a lot, but take your time. This game, once you have invested in it, it's gonna be rewarding. It's fun to play. The gameplay is so unique, hero-centric. That's the thing I love about Flesh and Blood. And if you are new, welcome to the Flesh and Blood TCG community. There's a bunch of content creators that actually make tutorials and different gameplay tips. There are deck building tips and things like that. I'm gonna put a bunch of resources that you can use down in the description. Check it out, especially the deck building website FABTB. That's basically your main go-to tool in order to explore ideas and things like that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.